This program brought to you by Inglis, the 2021 English Yearling Sale Series. Entries open now.
Vecchio charges to the lead.
Hello, I'm Caroline Searcy. Welcome to another week of Bred to Win. Coming up, we look at the incredible influence of the Darley shuttle stallions and profile their stunning additions in 2020. Too Darn Hot here at their Hunter Valley base and Blue Point in Victoria. And two great value stallions at Brisbane Meadows near Goulburn in southern New South Wales, Night Exemplar and Fastnet Express. Darley studs Alistair Pulford and the South Australian Cox Plate champion who made him love racing. And Balness studs John North and his favourite English sales story. That's all coming up, but first the latest breeding news in the Cambridge Stud Bred to Win wrap. Group 1 racing kicked off for the Sydney Spring with the Winx Stakes, won by the hugely talented granddaughter of Zabeel, Very Elegant, who secured her fourth Group 1 success. From the Dan Road mare Opulence, Very Elegant was bred by New Zealand breeder Don Goodwin. Her sire Zed stands at Grange Williams Stud near Palmerston in New Zealand and is by Zabeel from a three-quarter sister to Danewin and Commands from the famous 8 Carat family. The Group 2 Darley Silver Shadow Stakes was won by I Am Invincible's daughter Dame Giselle in the Sir Owen Glenn Go Bloodstock colours. A $500,000 Inglis Easter graduate sold by Sledmere Stud, Dame Giselle is from the four-time group-winning Stravinsky mare Ballet Society. Her breeder, the China Horse Club, was awarded a nomination to Darley sprinter Harry Angel, who features later in Bred to Win. The Group 3 Show County quality went to Godolphin's Rohiran, a son of Lonro and grandson of Golden Slipper winning champion filly Bint Masquet. Rohiran's Dam Mannington was a group winner and multiple Group 1 place getter and has left Rohiran's half relations Derby winner Benicio and Group 2 winner Romnea. The Inglis Classic sale produced a bargain winner of the Toy Show quality, with John Thompson having more success with the offspring of Casino Prince. Now a three-time group winner, Sweet Deal, was a $67,500 yearling sold by Lincoln Farm to Boomer Bloodstock.
But Gale has not seen another rival.
The York meeting in the UK offered up some of the world's current champions of the turf, including Gayeth. The son of Dubawi held off star mare Magical in the Juddmonte International to remain unbeaten this year. His Damn Nighttime by Galileo was an Irish 1,000 guineas winner, and Gayeth is a half-brother to Fastnet Rock's US Group 1 winner Zakova. He was bought by Godolphin as a foal in 2015 at the Goffs November sale. Another star shining brightly at York was 1,000 guineas and Epsom Oaks winner Love, with the unbeaten filly dominant again in the Group 1 Yorkshire Oaks, and also heading for a mouthwatering clash with Enable in this year's Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe. Love is by the incredible Galileo from the pivotal mare Peekaboo. Another York feature saw Batash win the Nunthorpe Stakes, Shadwell Stud's son of Dark Angel winning the 1,000-metre dash for the second year in a row.
Stratton with a hoop cap is staying on very stoutly, and then dashing Willoughby. It's Enbehar in front.
While Australian stallions featured, with the late Redout's Choice siring the tough staying mare Enbehar, who took out the Group 2 Lonsdale Cup, and Cornerstone Stud in South Australia are celebrating the 2-year-old success of Miss Amulet in the Group 2 Lowther Stakes. Her sire, Sir Prancelot, is back at Cornerstone's Barossa Valley base for the 2020 season at a fee of $9,900. And Darley's Golden Rose winner Epaulette had an American Group 1 winner over the weekend, with Red Lark successful in the Del Mar Oaks over 1,800 metres. The French 2-year-old championship, the Prix Morny, was at Quinella for Kodiak. The Danehill half-brother to Invincible Spirit had Royal Ascot winners Campanelle and Nando Parado finish 1-2. And recent Coolmore stud global acquisition Wootton Bassett had another Group 1 success as his daughter Udara took out the Prix Jean Romanet. Another great boost to New Zealand's Cambridge stud, from where in coming weeks we'll feature Wootton Bassett's its European champion son Al Manzour, who's back this season at a fee of $30,000 NZ. Sad news from Coolmore Stud this week with the death of champion mare Atlantic Jewel after foaling a colt by American Triple Crown winner Justify. The wonderful daughter of Fastnet Rock and Zabeel mare Regard took Laurie Macri and her other owners on a wonderful ride on the track, winning 4 Group 1s, while at Stud in Ireland she produced 5 foals by Galileo, including this year's Hampton Court Stakes winner at Royal Ascot, Russian Emperor. Sadly, Western Australian champion filly Delicacy was also lost to owner Bob Peters after an allergic reaction to penicillin.
The mighty Delicacy.
On a brighter note, champion mare Winx is weeks away from delivering her first foal, and trainer Chris Waller posted a great photo of the magnificent mare looking in fine fettle after visiting her last week. And the Inglis Digital late August online sale is open for bidding, with final bids being taken from 3 p.m. this Wednesday, August 26. Well Done You is one of the highlight lots, being a half-sister to Invincibella, while lot 200 Sill Feed in foal to Better Than Ready, and July's Doomben winner Fox Pack by Fox Wedge led the bidding late on Monday. Following up on our story last year on the incredible influence of the Darley shuttle stallions on the Australian thoroughbred, this week we profiled 2 new additions to their ranks. Tues Aug in New South Wales and Blue Point in Victoria have everything to offer breeders who aspire to continue that great international legacy in Australia's greatest races.
You can't underestimate the impact of the shuttle stallions here in Australia, Caroline. Week in, week out on our racetracks, we're seeing them produce elite level horses. And you think what we'd be without as a racing nation without the shuttle horse. Horses like the Great Winx, Santa Ana Lane, G-Tra, Vega Magic, Happy Clapper, Humidor, the list goes on. And even if you look at last year's Spring Carnival, the VRC Derby winner, Warning, son of a shuttle stallion, our own Flit that won the 1,000 Guineas, daughter of a shuttle stallion. And I think as Australians we took a lot of pride in winning the Melbourne Cup back off the internationals. We finally did it with an Australian bred horse, and guess what? He was the son of a shuttle stallion. So they do make an amazing impact for their limited numbers that we have here in the country.
Again, Frankie Dettori and John Gosden, too darn hot.
Well, I was particularly excited to see Too Darn Hot here today, this gorgeous son of Dubawi. We know what a fabulous racehorse he was. His trainer John Gosden called him a Ferrari McLaren type. I mean, you know, he would know. He's trained so many champions. He looks stunning here.
Yeah, we're very excited to have him too, Caroline. And his jockey, champion hoop Frankie Dettori, described him as the best 2-year-old that he's ever ridden. So it's a glowing endorsement from a jockey that's been at the top of his game for probably the last 3 decades, and you can imagine the quality of horse he sat on. It's a fantastic endorsement from a champion jockey.
He climbed through the group racing ranks as a 2-year-old, didn't he? And to become an unbeaten Group 1 winning 2-year-old. He
did it very quickly. 9 short weeks it was. He went from winning his maiden to winning the Group 1 Dewhurst, which is the pinnacle of 2-year-old racing in Europe, and it was a quality field that year. He beat Advertise, who was already a Group 1 winner and went on to win 2 more Group 1s, and in third was Anthony Van Dyke, who would win the Derby about 8 months later. So it was actually the highest rating renewal of the race this century. So it really speaks volumes about the quality of 2-year-old that Too Darn Hot was.
And of course the Sussex Stakes. I mean, that is one of the great features of the Goodwood Carnival, and he made that his own too.
So it's where the elite milers of Europe come together at Goodwood for the Sussex Stakes, and he was dominant, and it was great to see him come back at 3 and become a Group 1 winner.
He then ventured to one of the toughest racing environments in the world. I mean, some of the best bred horses generation after generation are in France, and he won the Prix Jean Prat.
He did, and he won it very impressively, and he defeated a horse called Space Blues, who's gone on to be a Group 1 winner himself and really franked that form, and he was dominant that day, and those 2 Group 1 victories saw him crowned champion European 3-year-old miler. He was the highest time form rated 3-year-old in Europe that year. So champion 2-year-old, champion 3-year-old. he really is an elite prospect for us.
By Darley. Now, he's had these wonderful horses here, Secret Admirer, Candy, Shamal Win, Tiger Tease, Old Jungle Edge is still winning for him. And as a sire of sire, we see Knight of Thunder, McPhee, etc., really continuing the great Dubai Millennium line, one of the, obviously the favourite line of Sheikh Mohammed.
It's a line we're very passionate about at Darley, and it's great to see it continue. Dubai only shuttled to Australia for a short number of years. He only came out 3 times, but he left a huge mark. Obviously, as you mentioned, all those Group 1 winners he had. He was 12% stakes winners to runners here in Australia, which is elite. He's Britain's greatest ever stallion. Knight of Thunder, leading first season stallion here in Australia by stakes winners this year. So it's great that that line's making an influence here in Australia still today.
And what about the dam side too? I mean, we know, of course, Darley, his mother, what a star, won the Pretty Polly, the Yorkshire Oaks, the Dubai Shima Classic against the best in the world. And his breeder, Lord Andrew Lloyd Webber, he must be so proud to see him standing as a dual hemisphere stallion.
And rightly so. We're honoured and feel very privileged to stand him in partnership with Lord and Lady Lloyd Webber. We're delighted that they're supporting the horse down here themselves. And he's going to get tremendous support here, and rightly so. As you touched on, Darley was a superstar, triple Group 1 winner. Her mother, Darara, was a Group 1 winning half-sister to Darshan. He's a champion sire, it's a stallion's pedigree. We use the cliche a lot in this game, but he's certainly a horse that ticks all the boxes. I actually see a fair bit of Singspiel, and Singspiel was a horse that only came to Australia for 1 year. Singspiel was 14% stakes winners to runners and had Group 1 winners like Rewaya. So, you know, we've got an elite racehorse with elite blood, and it's blood that's worked down here with the Australian mares, so he's a hugely exciting prospect for us.
Because Blue Point is stretching right away.
He was an elite 2-year-old, Group 2 winner of the Gimcrack, runner-up in the Dewhurst, runner-up in the Middle Park, and he was a really, really sharp, fast, precocious 2-year-old.
Blue Point is chipping away at Battle to the near side under William Buick.
It was just a fantastic performance, and we now know in Australia the merit of a King's Stand winner.
We know it well. There's been plenty of Australian horses that have gone over and won it and tried to win it, and we've sent our elite horses over there and they haven't been good enough. It was the who's who of sprinting around the world at the time, and Blue Point was a dominant victor.
Blue Point completes the double.
He's the first horse to do the Group 1 double at Royal Ascot. Schwarze did the double as well, but at that stage the King's Stand was a Group 2. But Blue Point's the first one to do it as a Group 1 double. It's an amazing achievement, and to be fronting up and winning 2 Group 1 sprints at Royal Ascot in the same week, it speaks volumes about the quality of horse he was. He's the image of his sire, Caroline, who unfortunately we lost earlier this year. He's a very masculine horse, he moves well. He's going to be very suited to our Australian mare market. He's obviously an outcross, and obviously his dad made a real impact here with horses like Faint Perfume, who won an Oaks, Maybe Discreet won an Oaks, Delectation won a Group 1 sprint at Flemington, Able Friend was a Hong Kong champion miler. So Shamadale's made a real impact in this part of the world, and as you said, he's now a sire of sires with the likes of Luke de Vega, who's had Santa Ana Lane and G-Tra and Vega Magic and these elite sprinters here. Poussance de Lune down at Swettenham had a Group 1 Oaks place getter and a Derby place getter in his first crop. So he's really made a huge impact here, Shamadale, and we're delighted to carry on that line with Blue Point.
At 350,000, well, I thank you for your help.
A lot can happen in 12 months, Caroline, since we last spoke about this horse, and it has. It's been a big 12 months for him. It started earlier this year at the sales. He averaged 11 times his service fee at the Australian yearling sales. It started with his very first yearling through the ring, a filly on the Gold Coast that sold for 150,000. His sole entry at Karaka made 250,000, a colt bought by John O'Shea. Then down at Melbourne Premier, he had fillies make 350,000 and 210,000. So he really made a splash in the sales ring here, and then that's carried on to the UK racing. His first 2-year-olds have hit the track. He had a big July where he had 6 winners. Our trainers here that have bought them are speaking very positively about them, and he's set to cover his biggest and best book here by a long way, and I'm pleased to say he's fully booked for the season, so we're delighted.
And the fabulous sprinter, Harry Angel, his first foals are hitting the ground now.
Yeah, it's an exciting time, Caroline. He's obviously a gorgeous looking horse, so we're excited to see what his foals are like. The reports from the UK about his foals in their spring were enormous, and we've heard of 3 on the ground so far, and the reports are extremely positive. So we're really looking forward to the rest of the season and getting out and onto clients' farms and seeing these foals.
Well, overall, the roster here at Darley Australia is an absolute who's who. You've got the absolute champions, Exceed and Excel and Lonhro, and every single stallion on the roster is a Group 1 winner, and these shuttle stallions fit right in.
They do, and we think we've got the formula right with the shuttle stallions, Caroline. We feel we've proven that over time. The Street Cries, the Shamadales, the Dubawis, Teofilos, Medallia d'Oros, they've all made a huge impact here, and that's why we've got full confidence in these 4 that we've spoken about today, that they'll continue to build on that record that we've had here with the shuttle stallions.
A mouth-watering array of stallions here at Darley Australia again this season. Coming up on Bred to Win, 2 value sires at Brisbane Meadows in southern New South Wales, and Balness Studs John North with a great English sales story.